For my transgressions, and He gave His life for me way back. And He gave His life for me on a hill called Calvary. But there's something else I really like to know. Does He still feel the pain every time I feel? Can He hear the crowd cry, crucify again? Am I causing Him pain? Then I know I got to change. I can't bear the thought of hurting Him again. Give God a little hand now, right? Thank you, God. Seems that I'm so good at breaking promises, and I handle His precious blood so carelessly. What if each time He forgives? Face the agony that He faced out on the hill. Does He still feel the nail? Every time I fail, can you hear the crowd cry, crucify again? Am I causing Him pain? Then I know I've got to change. I can't bear the thought of living again. Every time I see am I hurting you again? I don't want to bring any pain. Tired of playing games. I don't want to bring you to a shame. Come on now. I can't bear the thought of hurting you.
I have the task of introducing our speaker on tonight. Presiding Elder Reverend Dr. Earl J. Griffin Sr. was born September 24th, 1955 in Greenville, North Carolina. He is the 8th child of 13, born to William Earl and Nettie Mae Griffin of Griffin, North Carolina. He is married to the vivacious Mrs. Marilyn McDowell Griffin, a retired educator of 31 years, and together they enjoy 8 children and 8 grandchildren. They reside in Grambling, Louisiana. Upon graduation from Aiken Griffin High School, June 7, 1973, Elder Griffin began a 20-year military career with the United States Army. He has served in Europe, South America, Asia, and in several states throughout the country. He retired on October 1st, 1993 to pursue other goals in civilian life. Dr. Griffin began preaching in 1979 in a small European town called Mons, Belgium. He has served as a pastor in the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church since 1992. He was appointed as presiding elder of the Monroe District of the Louisiana Regional Annual Conference in the 2014 Louisiana Region Conference in Shreveport, Louisiana. Dr. Griffin obtained undergraduate degrees from the University of Maryland at College Park, Maryland, the Master of Divinity degree from Erskine Theological Seminary, Due West, South Carolina in 1996, the Master of Science in Leadership with Walden University in 2012, a doctorate in religious study from Ashwood University in August 2008, and an honorary doctorate degree, divinity degree from St. Thomas Christian University, Jacksonville, Florida in 2016. He also serves as an adjunct professor of world religions, University of Phoenix, a certified trainer, speaker, and coach with the John Maxwell Group, a leadership development consortium, and is the director, Leadership Development, Louisiana Region Board of Christian Education. For over 40 years, Dr. Griffin's track record as a proven leader has been exemplary both in the United States Army and as a pastor in the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. As a John Maxwell certified coach, trainer, and speaker, he uses his expertise and experience to help leaders grow to their full potential. He is uniquely skilled to assist corporate leaders in the areas of human resources development programs, middle and executive leader development programs, and mentoring practices within the workplace. Both his professional time as an organizational development specialist within the United States Army, his tenure as senior pastor, and as presiding elder within the CME Church uniquely gift him to assist leaders in resolving the ethical dilemmas of leadership and developing the cultural skills necessary to lead diverse, multicultural organizations. Dr. Griffin presented How to Become Successful Intentionally at the 2016 Annual Leadership and Awards Convention, United Real Estate Corporation in New Orleans, Louisiana. Guest speaker for the 2015 Freedom Fund Banquet, Minden Branch NAACP. Commencement speaker, 2015 and 2016, the Interdenominational Theological Center Certificate of Theology Program in Grambling, Louisiana. Bible lecturer, 2015 Women's Missionary Council Quadrennial Session, opened the 2011 session of the Louisiana State House in prayer as a guest of Senator Robert Adley, speaker for the 2011 Black History Program, Minden Branch Social Security Office. Commencement speaker, 2013 Summer Graduation Ceremony, Shreveport Job Corps Center, and 2014 to 2015 facilitator, executive public speaking course, Southern University, Shreveport branch. Dr. Griffin is also a member of both the Shreveport-Bossier and Grambling African American Chambers of Commerce and the Southeast Georgia Minority Chamber of Commerce, Columbus, Georgia, and an active member of the Minden Branch NAACP. He received both the 2011 Citizen of the Year Award from the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated and the 2010-2011 Minden District Louisiana Region Service Award. He participated in the 2011 Fuller Legacy Bill that helped build 8 new homes in the Minden area, and the 2014 Making a Difference Award from the Shreveport-Bossier DeSoto Parish African American Association. Will you all please give our speaker as he comes a hand?
Well, good evening. Good evening. It is truly an honor for me to be among you this evening. I thank the state senator, 29th district. You did say Jay Leno. Close. Luna. I'm just trying to get the relation together. And of course to your mayor, whom I met earlier in the year, last year I believe it was, when I was here. I certainly want to thank my wife for accompanying me here tonight. I wore my Nike sneakers with this wonderful black suit because on Tuesday, my father left me with no money, but a whole lot of gout. Every now and then, when the situation is right, the gout kicks on my big toe. So I took 2 Advils and came on to this gathering because I realize how important and significant it is for us to be here this evening. I thank Mr. Ito Ashley for this invitation and the committee for agreeing to have me come to be with you this evening. I want to talk tonight for a few moments about a community's covenant to prepare its youth for the challenges of tomorrow. A community's covenant to prepare its youth for the challenges of tomorrow. Let's pray. Father, without you, we can do nothing. Guide my thoughts. Make these words that you have shared with me clear, concise, and powerful. That these words may cause critical reflection among us, such that this community may continue to thrive, continue to develop and prepare the next generation, and that each and every member of this community might be blessed. Bless us now with your presence in Christ's name. Amen. 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 A community's covenant to prepare its youth for the challenges of tomorrow. There were 2 farmers, Hank and Joe, who lived on adjacent properties. They were in the middle of a long drought that had left their land parched, making it almost impossible to grow crops. One day, Joe looked over his fence and saw Hank working on building a new dam. "What are you doing that for?" "There's no water," Joe said. "The rain's coming," replied Hank. Joe looked up at the cloudless sky, shrugged his shoulders, and walked away. A couple of weeks later, Joe looked over the fence again and saw Hank working on a new irrigation system. "What's the point of doing that? There's still no water," Joe shouted. "The rain's coming," replied Hank. That's what you said last time, Joe muttered under his breath as he turned around and walked away. A few weeks later, large black clouds started to fill the sky, and then the rain finally fell, breaking the drought with a massive downfall that had the potential to change the future for all the farmers in the region. Hank looked out from his farmhouse as his new dam and irrigation system filled with precious water, ensuring that he would benefit from the rain for a long time in the future. Joe was relieved to see the rain, but he was unprepared, and his property soon dried up again. A few months later, Joe looked over his fence at Hank's luscious farm with envy. Why is he so lucky? He asked himself. Hank looked back at his neighbor's dust bowl of a farm with pity. Why is he so foolish? He asked himself. Well, did the man of wisdom that we know as King Solomon pen these words, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." It speaks to preparing for future opportunities and challenges, being confident that the rain is coming, being confident that new opportunities will arise. It is a word of wisdom about the value of preparedness for tomorrow. And in many respects, this scholarship banquet seeks to assist young people, yes, for life's unique challenges. This committee has set aside this time to award young people scholarships to aid in their education. For this community and this committee values education as a means of preparedness. And so I salute them this evening, and I ask that you join me in a hand clap of praise for them. And to be more specific about the work that is being done here, about how this committee's work impacts and influences the future of Winnfield and indeed the world, how it really makes a difference in the lives of young people, I want to lift up three things for your consideration. First, this community mentors young people, helping nurture the aspirations and dreams of its young people, of which this banquet is a small part. How, you ask? Well, listen to this story. Snowy was a beautiful pony. And since the day she was born, she had wanted to be a show-jumping pony just like her mother. And every day she would pester her mother to be allowed to jump. Eventually, Snowy's mom decided that she was big enough, and they went into the jumping arena together for the very first time. Snowy was very excited, but when she saw how big the jumps were, she started shaking. I don't think this is a good idea. I could never jump that high. I think that we had better leave, she said. But Snowy's mom smiled and said to her, I wouldn't expect you to start that high. There's a log on the ground over there. Why don't you start jumping over that? Snowy was a little bit scared at first, but she took a deep breath, cantered over to the log, and jumped over it. I did it, she exclaimed. Soon Snowy became an expert at jumping over logs, but her mom said to her, you can't jump over logs only if you want to be a show jumper. Try that low jump over there. Again, Snowy was nervous, but she gave it a go and found that she could do it. As the weeks and months went on, Snowy progressed to taller obstacles until eventually she entered the arena and looked at the tallest jumps that her mom was able to clear with ease. And over the past few weeks, something had happened. Something had changed. These jumps didn't look as high. They were much less scary. They looked achievable. Snowy's mom looked with pride at her daughter and said, "See how far you've come? What once seemed impossibly huge now seems much smaller. This is what happens when you start small and keep trying." That's right, darling. If you can remember that, you'll be able to do anything, and Snowy did. That's what this community, Winnfield, is doing tonight, nurturing the aspirations and dreams of its young, encouraging them to dream big, but start small. For in doing so, the small acts of faith empowers them for the larger goals and dreams they seek. But let me move on. Secondly, this community takes mentoring to its logical conclusion. It puts its money where its mouth is. It provides valuable financial resources to help students afford the high costs of higher education. Over $80,000 have been issued to these students to help them afford their dream. What an awesome display of confidence in these young people by this community. The Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, of which I am a part, our quadrennium theme is the investment factor. A changed people changing the world. A changed people. Through this focal statement, our church seeks to invest tangible resources into our young people, our educational institutions, and to open access to opportunities both in the church and in the world. Young people here tonight, you should take pride in your community for the investments they are making in your future. Why don't you give them a round of applause right now? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Third and finally, this community trusts that their efforts will toughen their young people mentally, spiritually, and physically, so that they might be able to overcome any challenge that threatens their dreams. Often new challenges demand new approaches, thus the need for education. Education gives you the best chance of fulfilling your aspirations and dreams. Only through education can new, innovative approaches to life's difficulties be faced. Our world faces challenges in globalism, technology, ecosystems, all that threaten to destabilize our world. And so, young people, we look to you to bring responses that meet these challenges head on. We want you to soar to new heights in education so that issues with pollution, poverty, global warming, and population control can be resolved not just for Winnfield, but throughout the world. Your elders have faith and hope in you. And I'm sure tonight that you will not let them down. I ask you, young people, to take all the values you have been taught thus far and refuse to quit. Refuse to allow your aspirations and dreams to be diminished because of unpreparedness and because the challenges were difficult. Let me close with this story that illustrates how this community hopes you young people will persevere despite the challenges you may face. Once upon a time, there were 4 seeds who were good friends of each other. Taken up by the wind, they finally landed in a jungle clearing. There they remained, hidden on the ground, hoping they would be able to grow up and become beautiful trees. But when the first seed began germinating, it realized it wouldn't be such an easy task. In that clearing, there lived a group of monkeys, and the smallest monkeys would amuse themselves by throwing bananas at any plant they noticed was starting to grow. Using this game, the monkeys learned how to throw bananas, and they also kept the clearing free of vegetation. They threw so many bananas at that first seed that it was almost split in two. And when it told the other seeds what happened, they all agreed it would be better to wait for that group of monkeys to move on before they attempted to grow. Well, they all thought that, apart from one, who thought she should at least attempt it. And when she tried, she was pelted with bananas and was left folded over in two. The other seeds got together and asked her to stop trying. But that little seed was completely determined to become a beautiful tree. And time and again, she would try and try. On each new occasion, the little monkeys had slightly improved their aim, and so the little seed ended up doubled over yet again. But the little seed didn't give up. Every time they pelted her with bananas, she tried even harder, despite her friends begging her to stop and telling her to wait until the monkeys left. And so for days, weeks, and months, the little plant was attacked by the monkeys, and she always ended stooped and doubled over. For a few days, she would manage to avoid the bananas, but then the next day, some monkey would hit her, and it would all start over again. And then one day, she didn't double over. She was hit by a banana, and then another, but none of them managed to make her stoop. She had taken so many blows and been doubled over so many times that she was full of hard knots and scars that helped her to grow more strongly than the other seeds. So her slim trunk got thicker and more resistant until it could withstand the impact of bananas. She was already so well developed that the little monkeys couldn't uproot her from the ground. And there she stayed, growing, growing, and growing. Thanks to the extraordinary strength of her trunk, she could continue overcoming all difficulties until she became the most majestic tree in the jungle. Meanwhile, her friends remained hidden on the ground, and they continued as ever, hoping that those horrible monkeys would abandon the clearing, never realizing that those very same monkeys were the only ones capable of strengthening the seeds' trunks by their method of throwing bananas, something that would prepare the seeds for all the problems they would confront during their growth. Young people, you may have many haters. You may have a lot of friends who tell you to quit on your dreams, to give up on your aspirations, but you have a community behind you here in Winnfield that says we want you to persevere. We want you to have the mantra, I will persist until I succeed. We want you to develop such mental and spiritual and physical stamina that despite the weather, you will stand. And having done all, you will stand. So that one day you will return to your community and say to your mentors and to your parents and all of your friends, look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. They said I wouldn't make it. They said I couldn't take it. But I made it now. I made it, and I'm so glad for what you have done to influence my life. Soar like an eagle. God bless you this evening.